Got ourselves team 2 together with Elite Shaman as an enhancement shaman. So I don't say Troll Shaman's that much PvP that more, honestly. I wish there's some more of them. Got ourselves free bands joining in as an affliction. Well, I like the Mog. Look at this thing, dude. It's kind of like a... I don't know why I'm thinking like Legend of Zelda with the Garuda or whatever, like with the mask and all that, and the clothy look. I like it though. Gonna be Reverence, trying to see if we can just blast out free bands. Free bands gonna fall down to the Reverence into a full Darkblade UA. Trying to see if we can get established onto the Succubus as well. Free bands is taking a little bit of damage though from a distance. The dots are burning him down. All that damage from the Succubus as well. Dude, work. Reverence is able to dome himself for a good bit. Trying to see if we can prevent some damage from free bands. And free bands trying to see if we can get some dot damage pressure, rolling into Reverence as well. Both of them get it CC'd. Second is CK ball flying down for Reverence. Maybe a lot of damage. Wall up for free bands, just trying to reduce as much damage as he can. Still taking a lot of hits. Reverence though is melting down with these dots little by little. He's taking quite a bit of damage. Soul Rod for free bands for a second. Drain Line to follow, trying to see if he can recover some health. Does he get to? Ends up going for the Warlock Hellstone. Either way though, trying to go for Malefic Rapture. Is able to deal damage to Reverence from a distance. Malefic Rapture technically does not have a max range at all. So if you got somebody, as long as you have line inside of them, you should be able to do some damage to them. Reverence with a big soul fire, try to see if you can burn down free beds with an immolate right around the corner right after. Mortal getting set, but somehow avoids it? No, it wasn't Mortal, it was free bands. Oh, that's what it was. Okay, so Mortal and that ability has a bit of a same animation, but it was free bands loading up the Succubus and then using Soul Swap, I think, to take the dots off of the Succubus and apply it onto Reverence. Does end up juking out a kick. Actually free to cast Reverence, does have a reflect. It's gonna be down reflected back to free bands. Mortal and Reverence does send a Mortal and free bands as well. Free bands may be in a little bit of trouble. One more execute is necessary. One more incinerate mages do it. Does end up burning him down with Reverence taking him out. Well done, well done. Sakuna, the monk, is going to be up next, however. Got a lot of mobility, lots of control, trying to see if they can find himself a better angle. Does not want to run out of Reverence without line of sight. Wants to make sure when they approach, they're using mobility. Reverence trying to burn him down. Going to be Succubus CC immediately. Sakuna just going to trinket. Leg sweep on both of them. It's going to be Reverence, I think, jumping down. Trying to go for a port. Sakuna knows exactly what to expect. Does he have a port of his own? He does. So you try to see if he can stay on top of Reverence as they try to kite him out. Will they be able to roll by Sakuna able to close the gap very quickly? Does he go maybe for the gateway? Trying to go for a fear while walls up. That's about all he can really do. Soul Fire after. Definitely needs to go for some healing. Big damage on the monk. Wait a second. Mortal Coil to follow up. Might just want to go for. Do you just burn him through the karma? There's no way you just burn him through karma. Reflect down for a second. It's going to be Ring Boopity Bob. Succubus CC. Reverence still taking lots of damage from the karma. Could be. Oh, I think just gun down to the karma. That is so much damage. All of us took down the monk too. Just fought right through it. Decided I'm just going to blast him out as hard as I can. My goodness. With Chopos charging out towards Sakuna as the dude get himself a dampened harm. That was a really close one for the Warlock, honestly. That was rough, man. It was so close. Stoner to Sakuna, nowhere he could go. Just out of options because Reverence did end up burning through every single one of his defensives. Elite Shaman gonna be up next. Got himself a grounding totem together with a counter-strike totem too. Is gonna be able to reflect some damage back to Chupos, though he does end up focusing down to eliminate it. Light lassos, the grippy hand comes out. Elite Shaman trying to see if he can maybe get some cooldowns rolling in. Gonna be AMS for Chupos, trying to see if he can deny any match damage, but also the capacitor stun initially. Elite Shaman does maintain himself quite a bit here. Gonna be Chupos rotating cooldowns. Doesn't have offensives really to keep going, so he's trying to see if he can give himself a little bit of that sustainability by rotating defenses back to back. Elite Shaman with a full wall does himself ascendance at the ready. Massive blast on the Chupos. Chupos looking for a full recovery, taking those massive wood strikes back to back. Does have a death back in case he ever needs to. He's just going to rotate through every single defensive, every single heal. Ledgeborn, big emergency heal, trying to see if he can steal some health back from Elite Shaman. Knock back. Oh! Threaded the needle. Elite Shaman actually gave himself a lot of breathing room there with that knockback. Chupos could still be in a lot of trouble. Looks like he wants to turn it around back onto the Shaman. The silence the last second. Just kept going for the obliterates back to back. Once you have those kill machine procs, he wants to stay in on those as best as he can. Oh my goodness. Set back. One of the two mages left over for the team 2. Can these mages go through the team of 2 Death Knights, 1 Evoker, 1 Paladin? Greater Pyro in the opener into a Ring of Fire right after. Setback, try to see if he can maybe get some damage to Chupos. It's going to be burning quite a bit though. Whether with the combustion, let's try to see if we can Pyroblast him down. But also that the ring as well as the Ignite. Ignite also burning him down little by little. This is what Chupos definitely needs to go for as much recovery as possible. It's going to be checking for setback, trying to see if we can deny letting Chupos just carve death strikes off of him bit by bit. Maybe MS for Chupos burn through very quickly. Potentially, maybe IBF. Chillpill's not in a great spot right now. Let's try to see if we can fight through Setback. Doesn't trap them on fire. Setback could go for an Ice Buck. May just want to. Doesn't go for the Ice Buck before the Cauterize procs. He doesn't want to give up Ice Buck and Cauterize, but Chillpill's out here just waiting for him. I think he's got a silence ready for the guy. And he's just waiting for the second. Is going to try to go for Death Strike. Breath into a freeze. Almost catches him. Greater Pyra. Maybe it stops it. Stun to follow. It's going to be Grippy. Silence right after. Setback doesn't really have much to work with here. He does have a cheat death. He does have a cheat death. Freeze onto Chillpills. Able to get himself a proper go. Big G Pie. I think it might be over. Ring of Fire. There's nothing Chillpills going to do. AMS in it. Is that enough though? IBF. Barely able to live it. Dome. Maybe that'll give you a little bit of survivability. Yoinking it back over. It's going to be all the time for Setback in case he's ever in trouble. Does not have a cheat death anymore. Cauterize. No, he still does. He still does have cheat death. Cauterize is still at the ready. In case he ever needs to, he could always cauterize the wounds. Chillpill summon up the ghoul just to sacrifice it immediately. And all we saw is just a green puddle spawn in, just plop all over the arena floor. Setback, maybe. Oh, in a bit of trouble. G-Pie, does he get the angle? Does he get to do it? AMS from Chillpills? No, he doesn't have it. Big damage on Chillpills. Does have mad execute? Maybe. Oh my goodness, Deathback is the one that's keeping him alive. Setback no longer has a Cauterize. That was his big defensive go. Does have combustion. Is it enough though? Fire Blast to the AMS. Is he able to break past those defenses? Interrupted for a second. Does he have any CC, any defensive whatsoever? Chillpills with a Death Call at the end. Oh my god. Death called him at the end. I can't believe it. That was incredibly close. I feel like in a different arena or different matchup slightly, maybe with a different set of cooldowns, like if just one more proc, if the mage just had one extra proc or something, that would have been great. We almost had him too. G-Wiz is going to be up next. It's the Frosty this time. Frost Mage versus Frost Death. That Chillpill's is going to have to see if he can maybe outmatch the Frost for Frost this time around. Can the Icy Obliterate break past the Icy Glacial Spikes? AMS over Chillpills, got himself a bit of a cover. Stun onto G-Wiz. Try to see if he can maybe go for a blink. Does he go for a blink? He looks like maybe playing Shimmer, not blink. Ultra time for G-Wiz. Got himself plenty of defense. Chillpills did take a lot of damage in that encounter though. AMS was not enough to keep him alive though. Does have IBF as well as AMZ. Gonna be the Ice Block. G-Wiz does end up burning what looks like what looked like an Ultra time. But I think it was just a random proc for one of his talents. Knocked back by G-Wiz. Try to see if he can spike past Chillpill's armor. And the man is waiting 9 seconds, 8 seconds until he can get himself AMS. Does disrupt a G-Wiz on the shifting power. Tried to deny any kind of cooldown reduction for the mage. Maybe a bold move, but I think it's the correct move. Wraithwalk to break out over the root. Gonna be a grip onto the mage. Does end up going for that cheat death mechanic where he's trying to see if he can steal some health from G-Wiz. Is able to connect. All the time up for the mage. Should be able to play to get healthy. But they'll blitz a cracker. Oh my god, those are blitz. Actually just cracked his defenses before he can press all the time. Between that stun. Wait, he had a trinket. Maybe he was thinking, I'm okay. Wow. It might have been one of the situations. Chillpills with 4? Okay, Chillpills. We might just have to ban my man Chillpills. Frost DK, obviously insane. Obviously the strongest class in the game.